Hello dear students, in this video we are going to see about inheritance in Python. It is a very important object-oriented concept. So object-oriented concepts means we know class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstractions, all this together only we call it as object-oriented concepts. So in this object-oriented concept, inheritance is an important OOPS concept, that is object-oriented concepts in Python. So this inheritance means what? One class make use of the properties of other class. So, for example, like the inheritance in general English, we know it is the property we take from our parents or from our grandparents. Similarly, for example, I as a child get the inheritance from my father, maybe the house, the car, the property they have. So it will belongs to me as well. So if my father have a car, I say that is it's my car. So I'm inheriting my father's property to me. So what is the main purpose of inheritance is reusability. So we are going to just reuse the properties of one class in other class. That's what the inheritance is. So there are many types of inheritance available here. So the types of inheritance are single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So let's see one by one in a simple manner for you to understand. So single inheritance means I inherit from my father. That's it. That's the single inheritance. So here is an example for single inheritance. So here you can understand single inheritance means one child class inherit from one parent. So here you can see a simple inheritance example. So here we have a class called A, and I have kept pass keyword because it doesn't have any body as of now. It's an empty class, so I kept it as pass. And we have another class called B. So single inheritance means B, I'm going to make as a child and making B to inherit the property from A class. That is one child class inherit from the parent class. So both are classes only. So class name already in the previous videos I have discussed. We have discussed that how to create a class and all. Hope you have listened to that video. Please discuss. Please listen to that as well. So it will be helpful for you to understand the class and object concept. So here we have two class, but we are making the B class as a child class or a derived class which get the property from the A class. So A class is my parent, so we have to keep the parent class inside a bracket like this. So it's a single inheritance. One B is inheriting from a single parent A. So that is what single inheritance. Since we don't have any body, we just put pass. So here is an example. So one child inherit from one parent. So here we have a class called person, and it has a function called show. And we know that whenever we put a function inside a class, it by default it has one parameter. It should have. So that is self. Self means it represents the current object. So it just so for example, I have only one print statement inside that function, and I have another child class called student, and this child class is going to inherit from the parent class called person. So if I put inside the bracket, this student become child and the parent for the student is class is a person. So that is the meaning of this, and you can understand this now. So already I told you the purpose of inheritance is what? Reusability. So whatever is present inside the person, I can reuse it inside the child class. So here in the child class also I have a function called student. So with the function with the print statement called I am a student. Now if I ask how many functions are present inside a student means I can say two. Why? Because whatever belong to the parent will also belong to the child. So student class now have study function. In addition to that, it has show function as well. So when I create a object for the student class like this, so as you already know, object name equal to, and this for this class I'm creating an object. So I have to put the name of that class. So using this object, I can access student as well. I can access study function as well as the show. Even though show is present in the parent, since I have inherited person in the student, I can reuse the show as well. So using the child object, I can uh, access the all the detail from the child as well as all the detail from the parent. This is single inheritance. Then multiple inheritance means one child have multiple parents. So here you can see two classes are there, A and B, and I have another class called C. So C class is going to use two parents, A and B, maybe father and mother. So it will get the properties of both parent, father and mother. So it is like multiple inheritance. So single child have multiple parent. That is what multiple inheritance. So here is an example. So here I have two classes, person as well as mark. Person class have show function and the mark class have display function. Now I have another class called student, which is going to make use of this both the classes, person as well as the mark. You can see here. Now when I create an object for the student class, s equal to student of, now I can able to access the both the functions. See, student class itself doesn't have any function, but I can make use of the two function present inside in the parent. This is example for multiple inheritance. What is multi-level inheritance mean? It's a chain of inheritance. Like C class is inheriting B, B is inheriting A, C is inheriting B, B is the parent, and B is inheriting A. Right? So here is an example. I have person, student, result, three classes. So the result is inheriting student, and the student is inheriting person. So when I create an object for the result, so how many function does it have mean? I can say three because it it has its own function result, and it can inherit from, this can inherit in from student. So study will also belong to result, and then a student is inheriting person also, no? So show will also belong to student. So when show belong to student, since student is inherited by the result class, it can inherit both the functions. So altogether, when I create an object for this result class, using that object I can make use of all the functions. I can reuse it. I don't want to define this function again here. Next one is hierarchical inheritance, which means one parent and many classes, child classes. So here you can see here hierarchical inheritance. See, only one parent is there, but this parent, same parent, can be made you may can be used by more than one child. So here I have a person class. Person same class is used by student as well as by the teacher. So this is called hierarchical inheritance. One parent is used by many child. So, for example, my siblings can make use of my same parent, right? So, same thing. So, student is also using person, teacher is also using person. So, when I create an object for student, so student's parent is person, right? So, student object can access teach as well as show. When I create an object for student, it can make use of the study function as well as the show because student is inheriting the person class as well. So that is what show and study by a student class. So show and study. When I create an object for teacher, that is T can inherit teach as well as show. The next one is hierarchical inheritance. One parent, many children. Right here is an example. So hierarchical inheritance, already we saw, no? Hierarchical inheritance. Now hybrid inheritance, combination of different types. So already we learned many types: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, right? So all this can be mixed multi-level inheritance and all these things. So all these things can be mixed up in hierarchical hybrid inheritance. So we can have a combination. I can make a combination of multiple inheritance plus multi-level inheritance. So that is what an example for hybrid inheritance. So these are the types of inheritance. Hope you got it. So please go through it slowly and understand it so that you can understand it clearly. God bless you, ma. Thank you.